I tell you what, this is William again. I'm here to make some Korean rice wine, also known as makgeolli. Now, I remember going up makgeolli. I remember drinking that makgeolli and going up the mountain in South Korea. It's nice. It's real nice. It tastes real good. People will just feed it to you like water. It's nice. Anyways, what you do, you take 6 cups of rice and you take these 6 cups of rice and you wash it. You wash that rice real good because you may got them nasty stuff in that meal. That meal got some nasty stuff. You wash it till that water gets clear like that. You see? Now, I didn't show it all in the video, but it took me literally an hour to wash that rice. Then I drain that rice. Drain it. Make it feel good. Then I put me a big old pot in the stove. And I pour that rice into that pot. Just like that. And then I put water. I put 8 cups of water in there. And I bring that rice to boil for 1 minute. And then I let that thing simmer for 20 minutes. Till it gets nice and soft. Till it absorbs all that water. So a lot of this video right here is about you cooking the rice. Yeah, I'm putting that water in there. Water's good, I tell you what. And I want to thank this farmer. I want to thank the farmer for growing that rice. It's hard work. I bet it was from a family farm. It's a sweet rice, too. It's a sweet rice you get in the Asian grocery store. And there's not very many Asian grocery stores out in the hills, but there's some in the cities. If you got a population of over 50,000 people, chances are you got an Asian grocery store. Here I am mixing that rice. You bring it to a boil. But yeah, you want to use that sweet rice. You don't want that regular old rice. The yeast love to eat that sweet rice because they like desserts. Look at that fire looking good. And there's the instructions for the rice. But like I said, I put 6 cups of rice and 8 cups of water. I boiled that thing and it turned out it's looking good now. And here I go. I'm lowering the temperature. I'm gonna let that thing simmer now. Put that lid on there. You don't want that water escaping. You want that water going inside the rice. And I got some yeast off of Amazon. And you put a little bit of water in a cup. Just like I did right there. See that much water? Scroll back on the video to see how much water. It's on the package of the yeast. It tells you how much water to put in there. Then you put that water in the microwave. You gotta warm that water up because the yeast likes warm water. They don't like no cold water. You warm up the water and then you make sure it's cool enough to where it ain't gonna kill the yeast because you don't want the yeast getting boiled all up, right? So I make sure you can touch it on the hand. It's the hand touchable. So I just held that cup in the hand until it was touchable, and then I poured the yeast in there. Now wait. And here I am. I'm putting filtered refrigerator water in there. I don't know about you, but sometimes when you don't use your filter water from a carbon filter, activated charcoal, then you may get some additional taste in your rice wine. You don't want that. You want to have the authentic, the pure, the nice rice wine. All right, so what you do is you take 9.6 cups of water and you put it in a big old fermentation pot. You can get this off the online or a catalog, but most likely you're gonna get it on the online. If you live in like Dallas, Texas, you can get it at the store. You put 9.6 cups of water, and you get some nuruk from the store. The nuruk is a type of yeast, mold, fungus, and grain type of material that they make they do for the makgeolli. It's the makgeolli starter. You get that at the Korean grocery store. Now let me caution you though, depending on the type that you get, it will drastically affect the flavor. So you gotta be very, very, very careful. Look at this. I'm putting 1.8 cups of nuruk in there. And this stuff makes lots of dust. So you gotta be careful with that. You don't be breathing that stuff in. You be breathing all that mold in. You don't be doing that. Look at that. Now you pour it in the water. You got your big fermentation pot. You put the 9.6 cups of water, and then you put the 1.8 cups of nuruk in there. You let that thing sit in there. You let it sit for a while. Look at that. My yeast is done. I waited a little bit. The yeast is on looking nice. It's like when you're making bread and you put the yeast in the water and you wait for it to activate. Same thing here. Now I took the rice and it's done and I put it outside, and that's outside my house right there. And it's freezing outside, so I'm letting that rice cool down to room temperature. You can't be putting boiling hot rice in a fermentation pot. It ain't make no sense, boy. And girls, you want to make sure that the rice is cool enough. Now, I'm in a pot here, so I couldn't spread the rice out. And a lot of people use dehydrators when they deal with the rice, stuff like that. They put on a big old pan, but I don't have no cookie sheets for all this, so I just let it cool in the pot. And it's gonna turn out fine. It's okay. It's cheap, man. It's not like you have a brewery or anything like that. You're making this at home. Look at that. You put that rice into that fermentation pot. Now, I had to do it in stages because the top part got cold and the bottom part did not. So I kind of did the top part first and then kind of let it cool some more and then put some more in it later. Putting that rice in there. You see how that water absorbed all that rice? When you put the rice in the water, it absorbs everything. Some people put this thing through a dehydrator to prevent the rice from turning into mush. But it's gonna turn into mush anyway. You just delaying it by about a couple hours. So I don't need a big deal. A lot of recipes say you gotta be doing that, but we in the southern United States, and this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna make the cheapest, the fastest alcohol we can that tastes real good. You mix that rice and that nuruk together, and it makes this real interesting brown paste like materials you can see. And this is after you cover it with your lid, or you put a cheesecloth and you cover it. Here it is, look at that. Yeah, you cover that thing up. And then you set the temperature. It needs to be from 68 degrees, 75. You can do it to 65 if you like. Yeah, I actually did it to 65. 68 to 75 is okay, but I went to 65, 75. It needs that temperature range for everything to work all right. You can't go below that. You can't go above that. Later, I went back and I seen it to 68 because it's cold at 65. This is day one right here. You see how everything absorbed? It's turning real nasty looking. It's bubbling real good. You mix that stuff up. You mix it up. Look at that, mixing it up. Now, a lot of people don't mix their makgeolli when they're making it. They just let it sit there. I always mix it the first day because you got to make sure all that nuruk and that stuff mixes real well. So on day one, I always mix my makgeolli up. Now you can see right there. Mixing it up real good because a lot of that stuff gets to the bottom. You want that stuff to be all mixed up real good. Just like that. Just like that. Yep, sir, it's nice. Mix it up real nice. You need to be washing that spoon off now after every time you do that. Mix it. Every time you mix it, you gotta wash that spoon off before and after. This is day 2 now. Look at day 2. Look at that. He's looking different, ain't he? He's looking real different. If you look real closely there, it bubbles up there. You can hear it. And if you shake the container, it starts bubbling a lot more. This is day 3. You just letting it sit there now. Look at that. You letting it sit there, do its work. Look at that. It's even less stuff on the top. That stuff's starting to separate. If this was a glass jar, you'd see this stuff separating. Real good. It's day 4. Day 4, you can put your nose in there, you can smell that alcohol. You can smell it. You can see there's just a fine layer at the top just floating up there. A lot of that stuff had fallen down to the bottom there. Here. Falling down to the bottom. Now look at this. Look at this. Yep. It's day 4 now. Look at it. You open up the bottom. You look at it in there. It's day 5. You can see, look at that. It's fermented real good there. Look at that. Looking real good. Looking good. You can see the bubbles bubbling. If you look closely, you can see them bubbles. Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is ready now. So this is the last day. This is what I did, I took a look at that. Look how good this looks. It looks real good, doesn't it? It's fermented now. Look at that. So I took a can of peaches, or in this case, it's a jar of peaches, and then I put it in the blender, and I poured it in there. Before I did that, it had like a bitter and a sour and a sweet taste. It was all right, but that peaches. A lot of people add sugar at the end of the makgeolli recipes, make it sweet and stuff. I didn't add peaches. I had the peach base. It's real good. You don't have that sweet ass taste. You got some. It has a peach flavor. It's good. So what I did right here is I use a strainer. I just strain through there. It's easy. You just put it through your thing. You mix it up and you put it in there. And you're able to get a lot of that stuff out, all that leftover nuruk and rice and stuff like that. Some people put it through cheesecloth twice or 3 times. You do this method, you put it strainer there, and you get that stuff out, and then you're able to really make it strain quickly when you put it through the cheesecloth. Now I'm not going to show you me putting it through the cheesecloth because that took a long time, and I was drinking and a lot of other stuff during that whole time. So it was inappropriate for me to take a video of that. So here I am. I'm still getting that stuff out. Now subscribe to my YouTube channel now. Now after you strain it, you use a cheesecloth and you get all the rest of the stuff out. And you pour it in the bottle. I got on the online and you pour it in the bowl and you drink it and you drink it with the kimchi.